I think that love is forgiving yourself. I think that love is offering your immediate help. I think that love is everything that we need in this world. I think the key is being honest and being able to share yourself. I think the key is being honest and being yourself. I think love is understanding that people can change and loving them anyway through every stage. I read all about love, then I gave it all to Jade. Love is sharing knowledge. There is so much to gain. Love is every time I put pen to the page. If I don't love what I'm doing, then I'm hardly engaged. God, you love me though. I am flawed. I know I'm not an innocent child, but I am yours. And if you're with me, you is safe. I know my body isn't immortal, but I am brave. I think you know it's real love when it's sincere. I am. Show him. I ain't scared. Eradicate fear. Wishing that the love will set us free. Said that we would never, ever crash, fold under pressure. Love getter. Use it to do better. Wishing that the love we feel will set us free. Love is something that you can't measure. In Corinthians, 10-12, encourages the Corinthians to welcome Timothy, warmly ensuring he has nothing to fear as he carries out the Lord's work. He also informs them that Apollos intended to visit, but would only do so if the Corinthians church desired it. Concluding exhortations and farewells, 1824, the chapter concludes with strong encouragement to the Corinthians to be watchful, stand firm in your faith, be courageous and strong, and do everything in love. The chapter ends with various personal greetings and a solemn blessing, including a powerful statement about loving the Lord. 1 Corinthians 7 is a chapter of the Bible that provides guidance on marriage and singleness, addressing topics like mutual, the S word, rights within a marriage, the permanence of marriage, and the role of a believer married to a non-believer. It advises that marital partners should be faithful and not deprive each other of intimacy, except by mutual consent for a short time for prayer. Paul also discusses staying single if one can, but recommends marriage for those who lack self-control. He instructs believers to remain in their God-given state, whether they are single or married, and to serve God where they are. marriage and singleness. Intimacy. As intimacy, Paul states that the married couples should have intimacy, giving each other their conjugal rights. Abstinence, spouses can abstain from intimacy, but only by mutual consent for a limited time, especially for prayer, and should then resume physical relations to avoid temptations. Marital fidelity. The chapter commands against the divorce and advises that a wife should not separate from her husband, and a husband should not leave his wife. Believe an unbeliever. If a Christian is married to an unbeliever who is willing to stay, the marriage should continue, as the believer may bring holiness to the union. If the unbeliever insists on leaving, the believer should not stand in the way, as they are called to live in peace. What could we understand by this? That not only when you are sharing God's word, that you should welcome the preacher, the guest that comes to share God's word. And he encourages to do so in love. For the blessings are many when you receive the wisdom. Then he speaks of marriage. I was there once, and recommends that marriage should have a time to share intimacy. It recommends a time in which both partners can agree to set aside that time of intimacy, because their choice might be the desire to dedicate time for prayer, and that the couple should not deprive each other of that intimacy. He recommends also that abstinence, it's not recommended if you cannot bear it. That's better for you to get married. It's best for you to get a partner and marry that person. That way, you will not fall into temptation. The times have come for us to decide which way we want to go. If we want to adopt the wisdom of our Father, because His instructions are simple. His instructions are wise. Adopt to discipline yourself in His ways and love one another the proper way, by not being tempted. Then make your choice of how can you stay away from temptation. When you do something for somebody, do it in love. Especially when somebody is sharing the truth, the wisdom of God, the wisdom of our Father. For He loves us so much that He gives us the choice. Yet, He promises us infinite blessings. I think that's enough. We can remain in the truth. And I will be cutting off this video and recording again, just to make sure that I don't get cut off, because it's been a little bit troublesome to have a connection. Some oligarchy of influences.